The Selfish Path to Romance. Download Chapter 1 for free at drkenner.com and at amazon.com.
Michael, you're having difficulties with your wife?
Yes, I am. Thank you for taking the call.
Yeah, what's going on?
Well, she seems to put on to me her own behavior, especially negative behaviors where...
Can you give me an example of that?
A lot of it centers around children. She'll make accusations that I mistreat children in some ways, not abuse, but, that I mistreat the children and I'm mean and, I'm kind of unfair.
Yeah.
And things of that nature. Mostly a lot of it centers around being just generally unfair.
How old are the kids?
Well, we've raised these children. Currently, we have some in college and some in high school.
Wait a minute. Some. How many kids do you get? Are these your own biological children?
We share. I have 3. She has the 2.
Okay. And they range in ages from what?
Well, now 21 to 16.
21 to 16 years old.
We started out, they were ranging from age from 7 to 2, approximately.
Yeah.
When we first started.
And so she's telling you you're mean. They're all teenagers or young adults at this age, right? And
Yes.
she's accusing you of being mean and unfair. And tell me, can you give me an example of something negative that happened recently that might have prompted you to make this phone call?
Well, it's just been an ongoing scenario for most of the married relationship. I've just tolerated because I love the kids, and I still love her, of course. But it just doesn't seem right to me that she will. The specific example is kind of hard. A lot of what she claims that I do is kind of a generalized in the fact that, I'm just unfair. I don't assign chores fairly. She claims that I play favorites, for example, and here's a good one. She makes the example that one of my direct son, Kyle, that I favor him, and she can't even say anything whatsoever to me regarding his behavior. But in fact, it's the exact opposite, where it is one of the other children that... if I try to make a comment on, just how to raise a child or misbehavior amongst the child, she won't listen to me. She'll get up and walk away.
So it's my kids, your kids? Is that what's going on?
A lot of it is, but it boils down to that in some aspects.
Do you feel somewhat protective of your 2?
Oh, my 3?
Your 3? Yeah.
Well... I'm somewhat protective, but I understand that there's the nurturing nature, that we have to live with. I allow her to try to be a parent, but one of the things that she's always tried to be is she's tried to be a mom and a dad and not let me be the dad.
You're wanting more involvement.
Well, I already gave up on that. I just go ahead and do what I do the best I can, but I just don't understand why she makes the claim that I... specifically do things like play favorites when she is in fact the one that plays the
Okay, let me give you a quick analogy. My husband and I enjoy ballroom dancing. We take lessons. And when I'm dancing with him, guess what I observe? When we mess up, guess what I think and what I observe?
Don't know.
That he's the problem. I totally see it as his footwork needs help. In fact, today we had a dance lesson, and I'm looking at his footwork, and I'm thinking, boy, he needs help. At the end of the class, the dance teacher took me aside, and she goes, Ellen, I want to have a class with you alone, a 1-hour class with you, because we've got to work on your footwork. And I was floored. Because what did I think? I thought it was my husband who was messing up. So partly, one of the problems that exists, and I'm not saying that what you observe is not the case. That can be the case too. But we look outward much more easily than we look inward. So we can see someone else's errors or someone else messing up much easier than we see it in ourselves, because what we do feels right. When you've been married for many years, right? How many years? You can do the math quicker than me. 19 years?
Yeah.
No, is it 19? It would be... Yeah, it's been 9 years. 9 years you've been married?
Oh, no. We've been married, I think this is, 12 or so now?
Oh, married 12 years. Okay, so when
Right.
you've been married that long and the habits have set in, and you're now dealing with teenagers and young adults, you want a way.
Hey, I got to interrupt this because we've got to pay some bills. 30 seconds, that's it. A very quick ad, and then Ellen will be back.
Romance. Ugh, I wish guys knew more about what we want from a relationship. Boy, I wish I knew more about what I want. Where's that ad I saw? Here it is. The Selfish Path to Romance. A serious romance guidebook. Download Chapter 1 for free at selfishromance.com and buy it at amazon.com. The Selfish Path to Romance. That is interesting.
When you've been married that long and the habits have set in, and you're now dealing with teenagers and young adults, you want a way. It's really hard to change long-established habits, but you need to fight for your values. If you want to be the dad or even the mom, just one of the parents, if you want more involvement, then I would recommend going to my website and getting a book, which I think the authors are have written books that are the gold standard in parenting. It's How to Talk So Teens Will Listen. And it's a very easy read, and I think that you will get a lot of ideas in that book on how to come back in as an involved parent, how to sit and listen for your children's emotions, to really be there for them. I don't know, maybe you do this already, but think of the person in your own life, Michael. Who would you say is the person that you felt really understood you, really got you, really enjoyed being with you? Maybe an older person that you just felt totally at home with. Does someone come to mind?
Well, I have a twin brother. So, yeah.
And is he good? Is he supportive of you and loving, apart from the couple of spats you might have had growing up?
No, well, we just think alike. You know, I kind of know how his brain works, and I'm sure he understands how mine works.
Okay.
We see eye to eye on many, many, many issues.
Okay.
So.
I hear the smile in your voice. I hear the comfort of being in his presence. You want to be with your kids in a way that gives them that same loving, supportive feeling. And it's hard to do that in a blended family. It's even harder when they're in their teenage years. And it's harder when your wife wants to play both roles, mom and dad. But it'd be nice if she could take a vacation and share it with you. And it's much.
She only wants to play mom and dad for her own.
Oh, not for yours.
There's a whole lot.
Okay,
more.
sometimes.
Yes,
sometimes guilt drives that. I separated or I divorced. Was it a divorce situation?
Well, for both of us.
Yeah, so sometimes, and I know we're right at the end of time here, sometimes the mom feels so guilty because she's been told she'll destroy the family that she hovers over them like a mother bird. And that's not necessarily good, but you can have some empathy for that. But I think if you both read that book, it would give you new ideas. You could smile together and you could make the changes together, as my husband and I did when we read those books. It became a nice challenge for us. So,
let me ask though: is it really though? Is there a common thing for somebody to actually get the idea that what they're doing is actually, or push it off on, or blame somebody else?
Yeah,
for their
you
own
can have
behavior?
many times people project onto their partner what they're doing wrong, and when they are able to face it, that's great. Listen, I'm Dr. Ellen Kenner. You're listening to The Rational Basis of Happiness.
For more Dr. Kenner podcast, go to drkenner.com and please listen to this ad.
Here's an excerpt from The Selfish Path to Romance, the Serious Romance Guidebook by clinical psychologist Dr. Ellen Kenner and co-author Dr. Edwin Locke, who's world famous for his theories in goal setting.
Telling your partner why you fell in love should not be a one-time occurrence, and it would become meaningless if you went through the same list every day. Better to point out specific qualities that you've observed from time to time. You look especially handsome or beautiful tonight. I love that color on you. I admire the total honesty you showed when talking to the Smiths. That's a quality I've always cherished in you. I love the way you encouraged me to pursue my career when I was having real doubts about my ability to do it.
You can download Chapter 1 for free by going to drkenner.com. And you can buy The Selfish Path to Romance at amazon.com.